What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about one of my favorite bands, the Black Keys. The blues rock duo from Akron, Ohio that have been doing it for 20 years now, and in honor of their new album that just hit tonight, Dropout Boogie, I am going to be doing my personal favorite top 5 albums of theirs. This was extremely hard to whittle down. There's been so much greatness over the years, and we'll see. Does the new album make the cut? I don't know, but here we go. At number 5. Blackrock. Yes, I consider this a Black Keys album from 2009. This is more of a side project that they named Blackrock instead of the Black Keys, but in my mind it is totally Dan and Patrick doing their thing, bringing in all these guest hip-hop artists that Dan only sings on maybe 2 or 3 songs on this album, but his vocals are great when you hear them. But man, the album is just so cool. It's one of the greatest, I think, rap collaboration records of all time. I mean, you got Mos Def, you got RZA, you got Noel Ray, a great R&B vocalist on this record. You've got Q-Tip, for God's sakes. It's just jam-packed with all these great hip-hop artists, but the music is really what makes it. And you can tell that these guys had been building up this repertoire of kind of hip-hop related grooves over the years, and we're like, hey, let's try this thing. And it is so good, man. I love it from start to finish. Songs like On the Vista, Dollars and Cents. It is so great and so fun. And obviously, they were heavily inspired by Wu-Tang Clan because the music lends itself to that kind of vibe throughout the record. And I hope they do a second one. And that's just at my number 5. So now at number 4.
Hey, now, baby.
The Big Come Up, the debut album from 2002 that was literally recorded in a garage. Just Dan and Patrick alone doing their thing, and this shows what they're capable of and more. I think, there's some long-lasting songs on here like The Breaks, which has one of the coolest bluesy rock guitar riffs of all time. You've got Busted, you got Do the Romp. Just so many fun, upbeat songs. They also have even a Beatles cover on here of She Said, She Said, which is a really cool kind of rendition of that, totally different than the pop version. This, of course, is more just fuzzy garage blues, and they do it so well, I think, better than the White Stripes. And, they had both come on the scene around the same time. But, these guys do it so well, and that's at my number 4. So now at number 3... Attack and Release from 2008. This is when finally the Black Keys were starting to get their due. It had taken them several years and several albums of touring in a van to get to the point where they were, starting to get recognized by just the media and fans in general. But this album is what started to break it with songs like I Got Mine and the opener, All You Ever Wanted, which is so cool how it starts out very slow and whispered, but just explodes. And a lot of that has to do with the production of Danger Mouse on this record, which is so cool. And it really starts exploring not just blues rock, but different genres within rock and roll. And the closer, Things Aren't How They Used to Be, is so poignant and heartfelt. Lies is another great one that's kind of like a ballad and a rocker mixed in one. Dan's vocals really coming to fruition on this album, and a really strong one that has to make your top 5. That's just at my number 3. Now at number 2. El Camino from 2011. By this point, the Black Keys were pretty much on top of the world. I would say this is kind of their peak as far as popularity goes, and for good reason. I mean, songs like Lonely Boy, Gold on the Ceiling, of course, Little Black Submarines, which I think is one of the greatest songs in their whole catalog. I mean, they just really rock out at the end of that song, but also such a great melody. And there's not a weak song on this record. It's really short and concise, 11 tracks, under 40 minutes, and you just want to listen to it over and over again. And I think when they toured this album, they played like every song off of this record, and you can see why. I mean, there's just so much great up-tempo rockers on here. Catchiness is through the roof, and there's only one better than this, so let's see what it is. At number 1, Brothers from 2010. This is the one, man. Oh my gosh, what an amazing masterpiece of an album, from the opener of Everlasting Light all the way to the closer of These Days. Everything in between is just classic. I mean, you've got slow burner, just awesome grooves like Too Afraid to Love You. That's got that harpsichord riff that's just so haunting and awesome. And then you've got Sinister Kid, this upbeat rocker with this killer bass riff, and everything in between. I mean, they had hits like Tighten Up, that was huge. And this is really when they broke through the stratosphere in terms of alternative rock and just everything on here. I mean, 10 Cent Pistol, I could go on and on. Every single song works in a different way, and even though it's a little, some may say bloated at 15 tracks, I think all of them are great. There's no filler, all killer. Even Black Mud, the instrumental, is great. I absolutely love this album. So that is my number 1, guys. So let me know in the comments below what you think. What would your top 5 be, especially with this new album coming out? I mean, there were so many greats that I almost put on the list. Turn Blue, of course, from 2014. Is an absolute classic. Delta Cream, their last album that was all blues covers, came very close to making my list, but I had to mention Blackrock because I love that one. But guys, we got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.